Hello everyone, this is Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality wherever you are in the world. When you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Well, the vote to release the Epstein files has passed through the House, which I predicted, and of course the Senate as well. So what does that mean now? Well, yesterday when I was doing some predictions, I felt that they were scrubbing the files to remove reference to Trump or redact his name, so the files would arrive so heavily redacted you would not see Trump's name, but you would see the Democrats' names, and of course Bondi announcing this investigation into the Epstein matters. They're going to target Democrats and they're going to leave Trump alone. Is that going to work? No, because it doesn't matter what they do from this point on. My prediction is that Trump will be a lame duck president. Likely, as I said, I don't see him doing a full term. And what that vote in the Congress revealed, even though Trump, after months and months, almost a year of saying that it's a hoax, Epstein is a democratic hoax, etc., suddenly turned around at the last minute and said, release them. Why did he do that? Well, the vote was going against him, and that still stands. It doesn't matter whether he says release the files at the last minute or don't release them. It doesn't really matter anymore. The Republicans have broken with Trump, and I predict that he is a lame duck president. It doesn't matter what he does to try and cover this up now. It will persist. Now, you only had to see the press conference between Bondi, Todd Blanche and Kash Patel to know, with Bondi near panicking when she asked why, when she said earlier there didn't need to be an investigation, and now she says that there is. And when asked why the inconsistency, she said some additional information came. She was going to say came forward, then she rethought. She thought no, because they'd be asking where that came from. So some additional information arose. There's some additional information. There's some information. She couldn't even get a line because she was trying to think of it in her head as she was talking. And the look on her face, the follow-up question is, what information? What information has led you to open this investigation? Now, she could say, oh, well, the Epstein emails that the Democrats released, which implicate their own. And of course, Trump is by far and away the number one person that's, I think, 1,600 times is mentioned in those emails. Now, here's the other thing. I predict there's some more emails to be released by the Democratic Party. I feel that they are sitting on them. We had an interview with Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, and with Newsmax, and he said that Epstein had information on Trump, had compromise on Trump, that if he had have released it before the 2016 election, he would never have been elected. We know it's there. We see it's there. There's no point hiding it, and Trump won't be able to either. This is going to really follow him for the rest of his days. All right, now let's have a look at what they're doing. So Mark Epstein said that he had information, which I thought was interesting after I'd predicted they were scrubbing the files, that they were actually scrubbing the files to remove or to redact information on Trump. Someone's going to leak something. People wouldn't have been happy with that. This is an offence now. What they're doing is now would become an offence in the future. All right, so let's have a look. I don't know that they'd be taking his name out, but of course they'd be redacting it so that you wouldn't be able to pick the reference. What of the footage? Apparently there's footage and photos there. Well, as I said, that they wouldn't release the full files because of some legal reason, and then they announced the next day after that prediction that they were going to use the investigation to say it's an active investigation. Now, I did read something this morning. I'm very excited about finally, as you know, I've got a personal stake in this, about the Epstein sex trafficking, child sex trafficking case being blown wide open, and we getting to the truth, and anyone who's involved being prosecuted, or, you know, the truth and transparency should hold. Thomas Massey, Rep Thomas Massey, he, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ro Khanna, seem to be the face of the push to get the files released, and of course the four Republicans, also Mace and Boebert as well, but certainly Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey have been really, Trump's coming after them in a big way. I, for one, will not turn away or disparage them in any way. I think those two have been incredibly courageous for whatever reason. They have risked their careers, but I predict they will just get stronger from all of this. Okay, so where am I going with this? Thomas Massey said that to protect against them saying a blanket, it's an active investigation, you can't have this, you can't have that, he's put into the legislation something that says it will be narrowly tailored, so that he's stopped them using it for everything. So they're going to have to prove really why. Now, I think that the Senate was supposed to take that provision out, but the Senate didn't. Schumer rushed it apparently to the floor, and the whole Republican Senate voted on it. So they literally scuppered Mike Johnson, who was trying to take that provision out. So it'll be interesting to see as it goes on. So given the first question is, what are they doing? Let's follow up from this feeling I felt that they were scrubbing the files. Have they, or are they, maybe it's already been done, scrubbing the files to remove Trump's reference, redacting it, whatever they happen to be doing? What can you show me? This is something I think it's been reported that they've been doing for quite some time. This is not, are they doing it now? They have done it as well. So this has been an ongoing process, because I see them all sitting around desk with, you know, each given a certain amount of files to go through. A lot of agents, this would be FBI, DOJ people and agents, have been doing this for quite some time. Sorry. They're trying to tip, because I got in the middle of the table, they're all sitting around the table, scales. They're trying to weight things, so less on Trump, more on Democrats. This has been going on for quite some time. Now, even that is a vindictive prosecution. They feel at home with that because, of course, the commie convictions, commie indictments just about to be chucked out of court through a mistrial, through missteps, prosecutorial misconduct, and Letitia James will be chucked out of court. Her case will be chucked out of court. We already know they're capable of vindictive prosecutions. This will come back on Pam Bondi big time in the future. All right, and well may she panic. Have a look of panic on her face, because she's crossed the line. All right, let's see. Are they redacting the files? Are they redacting the files to take Trump's out, to tip the scale in Trump's favour, and to vindictively show more democratic presence in those files? Are they not only redacting, but doing so selectively? That's what I feel. Okay, so we've got a new start here. That's interesting. I want to say, with the astrology and the Epstein emails being released, we have Uranus opposite Mercury. in the Scorpio at the time of the Scorpio new moon a few days ago, I thought that was interesting, given Uranus is, things that take us by surprise, and Mercury is the planet of communication. So I see Scorpio, new moon in Scorpio. It's a time for letting go of the old and bringing in the new, and then we get the Fool card. So at the higher level, the whole Epstein matters, the whole culmination. That's why I'm not a fatalist, and I don't think that that things, we've all been tired, we've all been jaded with in the Trump era, but I feel that this is it's much bigger than that. And I see that in the cards, and we get victory. So there's a new start here and a victory. And of course, if we look at this, that's the higher level, because he's not going to be able to stop this. It's not going away. He's looking for a victory and a new start away from this whole Epstein matter. Now, how's he getting this? Because that's the signifier card. The foundation of the reading is the Seven of Cups, which is illusion and delusion. So there's smoke screens. What a foundation here, trying to paper over something so that we can't see, trying to again tip those scales in Trump's favor, which is an intentional, vindictive thing to do. Well, basically they're trying to throw Trump a lifeline. Now, he had a hoarse voice the other day in a press conference, and I would say that a lot of people are very worried. There's just grief and sadness all around. It reminds me of, when I feel the same kind of, those children were used as pawns in a very, nobody cared about them. Nobody cared about what this would do to them, or no one was looking out for them. There's a tremendous, this was done, whether it, for blackmail, for leverage over politicians and billionaires. There's a connection with Israel that's been proven now. Russia has, Epstein was in Russia giving compromat, all of this. But at the center of all of that, those machinations, were children who were dreadfully harmed. And it reminds me of the soldiers that are sent off to war, thinking they're fighting for some moral reason, when all it is, at the end of the day, is to feed the billionaires who are the military-industrial complex. And so I see ordinary people being used and abused. And that's what I think that card is in the past. And that's why there has to be a reckoning. So here we go. What's crowning this reading, which is a potential at this time. It's possibly something that could come to pass. It's not the outcome, but it's a possibility that they're going to withhold the information. Four of Pentacles. It's like building a fortress around something, nothing impenetrable. There's also, because it's Pentacles, there's also money, again, about, I think money laundering, could be trafficking money, Epstein's monetary ties. And who would we be protecting there? Well, the banks, the financiers, the financial sector, Trump. Okay, they're going to, again, in the immediate future, we have this Eight of Pentacles, which is a feature of this Trump regime. And that is that they will push and test the boundaries as much as they can get away with. They're working on it still at this time. Now, in the present, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is the oligarchy, the money. We could even have Trump org mixed in with that. Not only are they helping redact, obscure Trump's name, but this is a Trump organization as well. And we know the Trump organization has been convicted of fraud, as has Trump. So Alan Weiselberg, his chief financial operator, fraud. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles, stability. So, you know, I'd say there'd be a lot of wealthy men panicking at this time, maybe trying to curry favours with Trump to try and get their names redacted as well. But this is not going to succeed. We have here the Hierophant, the courts, the government, the law. And this is why all Republicans, but I think bar one in the House, why it's so significant that they broke with Trump. Because this isn't going to go away. These reps like Massey will stay on this, and Ro Khanna and Marjorie Taylor Greene and everyone else in the Democratic Party. The government is going to stay on this. It's not going to end well for Trump. And yes, here we have the dark Three of Pentacles. It's the only pentacle card that has this dark background. They're trying to build something in the dark, and that is the outcome. It's also a yes card. So yes, it's a fait accompli, a given, and also references to Mar-a-Lago as well. It's a given that they're scrubbing these files. However, please do not, star card, do not lose hope. Because look at what's in the frame, the past, the Six of Cups. Because this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. Okay, so there are some more emails there. And I think the Democratic Party has been ahead of the curve here in that they've got more to release. And I'll just quickly do that reading. Okay, no, before I do that, is this going to work? I've predicted Trump's a lame duck president. I predicted that this is very significant, that the Republicans are moving away from him. So will this cover up in all its illegality, vindictive prosecutions, weaponizing the DOJ? Will this cover up work for Trump in Trump's favour? Will this, so I'm getting the Ten of Rods, will this cover up work in Trump's favour, which is struggling? Okay, the truth is out. The truth will come out. Now, it's a crossroads here for many people. I'd be very careful if I was taking orders from Trump right now. A new plan, will it work? We have the Four of Pentacles in the past. I suspect that's the women who were children at the time, and we've just got this despair crowning the reading. It's going to cause further pain to the women because it's not going to liberate them. And there's the Ten of Rods. Okay, no. It's struggle street time. It's like they've taken on too much and they're going to drop that load at any time. It's not going to work. And we're going to see this in real time in the immediate future because people are going to leak. Here is the Page of Swords. And this leak is in the present moment. So we're going to get a leak on the cover-up soon. And I mean soon. Could even be days. If one plan doesn't succeed, they're going to pivot to a second one. When does desperation kick in? We have the Hierophant, the courts. The courts aren't going to go along with this vindictive prosecution. We've seen that in the Comey and the Letitia James cases. They're not going to do it. This is madness. No, the Hermit card. This, again, keeps coming up for Trump. Isolation, pariah type energy, losing his base. MAGA is no longer MAGA, it's now America First. What's Trump doing? He said in a quotable quote, when he was looking at the Saudi prince arriving to the White House, he said, Netanyahu, someone must have asked him about Netanyahu. He said, Netanyahu, well, he doesn't have $1 trillion. So, he's not America first, okay? This is part of a broader plan to enmesh investment in the Gulf countries. Foreign policy is changing. This is a Trump first policy, but it's also financial sector, US financial sector first policy as well, those that back Trump. Okay, so the Hermit card, isolation. No, it's not going to work. We've got moving out of Trump, moving on. Okay, so moving on. Some mediaite has suggested that this Trump will stand down and resign. I don't know. It's a possibility. I've never seen him do a full term, but I thought that was health. It's like he's now for what benefits him. He's always been that way, but he's not coming up for re-election, so he doesn't have to really worry too much about his base. But the Republican Party does. Okay. So, no, it's not going to work. No, the cover-up is not going to work. That Six of Swords was interesting. Does this cause, whether by ill health? I noticed that the black tie event for the Khashoggi, the person that ordered the killing of an American journalist, Jamal Khashoggi, at that event at the White House, glittering event, while they ate caviar, and the MAGA can eat cake. Everyone else can eat cake. Let them eat cake. That's a saying by Maryann in the French Revolution, where that was a regime that was so totally corrupt that her comment when she was told people were starving said, let them eat cake. Okay, so, all right, so is he a lame duck president? Of course he is now. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene referred to him as somebody that is not putting America first and is putting himself first. I would widen that to say, and the US financial sector first, their interests. Okay, all right. No wonder we're seeing a revolution, a people-led revolution where being a socialist, a Democrat socialist, a socialist Democrat is not a dirty word anymore. Okay, so where are we going with this? More emails, that was it. Okay, so is there just a few cards? Are there more? Do the Democratic Party have more emails? Do the Democratic Party have more emails? Do the Democratic Party have more emails? Ah, yes, Meteorite said the star card. I cover that card because there's some nakedness on there. They have to make decisions. They do have, it's a crossroads time. Yes, they do. There's those same type of cards. We also have a leaker there, and then we have justice. Yeah, they absolutely do. We're waiting for the right time, but they're going to release more. Could be 2 weeks, 2 months. Look at that death card. So yes, that was where I was going. Trump. Is Trump going? Meteorite has suggested. Just got so much information in my head. Meteorite. So much to read on. Mediaite, the news publication, has suggested this is the end of Trump. They're not the only podcast or news organisation or independent news organisation that's suggesting this. One way or another, is this the end for Trump? Is this the end for Trump? Ten of Swords. Two people. It's an interesting scene I've got here. It's like your founding fathers, two of them sitting around a fire, and then in front of them on the hearth is someone with swords stuck in their back, sort of like Julius Caesar. Okay, March of next year. I don't know. That just brought to mind the Ides of March. Maybe something significant. No, he's not leaving. That's not the prediction. I'm not saying he's leaving by March of next year. I'm just seeing those images clairvoyantly. Like there's a downfall there. So is this the end for Trump? Either through passing or resignation or impeachment? Let's look at all the options. Is Trump leaving the presidency in any way? Through ill health? Through impeachment, through resignation? What is this? Is Trump leaving the US presidency because of the Epstein matters eventually? So we have the Five of Pentacles. That's being locked out of something, and then we have an offer here. It's like his base have turned against him. Now some will still have, he'll still have a core of support there, but it's like more and more. And I follow these right-wing podcasters. I know what they're saying. The Candace Owens, the Tucker Carlsons, Theo Von, I think it is, even Joe Rogan now. They're turning away from Trump. They're looking for another America First type person. Having to defend oneself is that the rest of his presidency is going to be having to defend oneself. Now, also, what's here? The economy, people suffering, not having enough. The economy is looming just as large. I would caution the Democratic Party to harp on about Epstein, because I think the economy is what is tipping the scales here. He's just bludgeoned the American economy. And of course that has a flow-on effect throughout the West as well. Deals being done. Now, isn't that interesting? That's in the past. Has this deal already been done? This is also relationships. So much more to come. The English journalist that wrote the book on Prince Andrew and Epstein's relationships says, according to him, Lowney, I think his name is, Andrew Lowney, or Lowry, he says that Melania was in a relationship with Epstein before Trump. That's his words. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what he's saying. Interesting, anything could happen. We have a season of time, a season of abundance. This is also my card for Russia. I think, Trump's there to get as much as he can for himself. There he is, the King of Pentacles. Oh dear. Boundaries and weariness are here in the present, I think, for everybody else. We have a new speaker, I was going to say. Why is Mike Johnson looking rattled? Because if all of the Democrats, all of the House members, bar one, go against him, that doesn't say much for his speakership. I have always predicted he would lose his speakership before his time is up. I don't know why that's come in, but I just want to bookmark that one. Loss and walking away is in the hopes and fears. It's a possibility. And then we have the King of Rods, the Congress. Yeah, it could be that he loses the confidence of his own Congress. We have the Eight of Pentacles as the apprentice card. And of course, who would that be? Would be Vance in the wings there. Certainly they're plotting. There is a whole level of... No wonder he's hoarse, because he can't speak because he's been shouting so much about the Epstein matters. It looks like there's a plot to unseat him. And I did say that. I did predict that there's this undertone of things here. I did predict that this was the oligarchy, a section of the oligarchy who were instrumental in the release of this. There are greater energies at play here, and it looks like they're gunning for Trump. Now, once his base, that's the Lover's card, there's some nakedness on that card. Once his base is fully turned away, and the young people are fully turned away, let them eat cake as the economy fails. They've held back the job report for October and possibly into November. Things are grim in the US economy. I don't need to say that. You already know that. There are plots to push him out. And I think that some of this is coming from people within the Congress. Okay. All right. So where do we want to go now? Erica Kirk, I think I'll go. Candace Owens, love her or dislike her, is doing some wonderful work getting information about what happened around the Charlie Kirk murder. But there were 4, remember I said I thought the assassin was of Middle Eastern origin? There were 4 Egyptian cars with Egyptian officials coming in from sort of government, semi-government type of officials in cars trailing Erica Kirk. Now, originally they thought they were trailing Charlie Kirk, but no, Erica Kirk. What is it with this person? Who is Erica Kirk? We know she ran a charity in East, I think it was Eastern Europe, was it? That was accused of harvesting organs. She's very close to Israel. What's Israel been doing? Harvesting Palestinian organs from prisoners. Bodies are being released without any organs, with their organs, major organs missing. What is going on? Now, I don't know. This is just a card reading. I'm just going to pull cards and say, who is Erica Kirk? Why were the Egyptians trailing Erica Kirk? There's much more here than meets the eye. Why were the Egyptians trailing Erica Kirk? And 10 out of 10 to Candace Owen. So we get here worry, restriction, blindfolded, fear, and the wheel of fortune, change. They were auditing, Charlie Kirk ordered an audit of Turning Point USA. There is much more here than what we know, days before he was murdered. The 3 of Wands, overseas interests, foreign governments. She's mixed up in some way with, I guess it's Israel, or foreign type of, there's something foreign here. She's not just a ex-beauty queen. Defending oneself in the past. And there's the devil card in the sky crowning this reading. It's not, whatever it is, underneath the pack is the world card and secrets. This is a woman, according to these cards, allegedly, that was operating in some way on the world stage. Foreign type of influences. In the immediate future, we get the Knight of Pentacles, stabilizing finances. This could have been mixed up in this whole Middle Eastern capitulation away from Israel and toward the Gulf countries. That Kirk may have been a sacrifice here. Anyway, we think for Israel, but okay, the government. This is the Egyptian government or some sort of government here. I don't think anything is done without the US government's knowledge. Wow. And the moon, things hidden and coming up, emerging from underneath that murky pond. The government. I said my original prediction there was a foreign government involved here, but also the US government. Nothing is done on American soil without them first knowing. The Chariot can be cars, can be things in the hopes and fears. We all know that people who tell the truth in podcasts need to be careful. And then we get the 9 of Wands, boundaries. Boundaries clarified by the 7 of Cups, illusion and delusion. Boundaries not like shifting away. And then we get the Nine of Wands, fear and loss, walking away. I'm going to say that whatever is happening with Kirk, where we come out, Turning Point USA, Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's murder, involve foreign governments, are enmeshed in some way, according to these cards. And we have the devil crowning this reading. All is not as it seems. There's, I think, the scarab beetle. I'm just getting that whole Middle Eastern vibe from this. All right. Anyway, more to it than meets the eye. Let's hope that investigative journalists like Candace Owen keep going with this. All right, shout out to her. All right, definitely involved in this. I mean, I have theories, but I won't go any further at this time, other than to say there's been a whole capitulation toward the Gulf countries, and all right, foreign policy where lives mean nothing, and all is not as it seems. All right, let's have a look at, I want to finish with Ukraine, because there is some talk that there is a plan now being drawn up to end the Ukraine-Russia war. An American plan, like Trump is drawing that up. Okay, will we see an end to the Ukraine war anytime soon? By the way, I also want to say my prediction on Keir Starmer, that he would be ousted soon. Like his prime ministership would, I think he resigns. I think that was the prediction. That looks like it's coming true as well. He's not resigned yet, but there's a lot of pressure on him to step back. Okay, I'll sit with that prediction and we'll see if it comes true. Also, want to say my prediction on the Canadian budget, it did get through. Yay for Canada, because they're a minority government, but that budget passed. Okay, so that's good. When I predict these things, I don't know what could happen. It's a prediction. Okay, so Ukraine war. We'll see an end to the Ukraine war soon. They will have to cede land. It's just Ukraine won't give up the entire Donbass region. That's the region that Putin wants. Okay, will the war between Ukraine and Russia end soon? However it ends, for whatever reason, will the war... Someone's hands are tied behind their back. Almost like, they're trying to sink Zelensky, I feel, in any way they can. Will Ukraine's war with Russia end soon? If he hadn't have been there, the war would have ended a lot sooner, in terms of Putin would have basically taken what he wanted. Zelensky has been standing between that. Will the Ukraine-Russia war end soon? Okay, so we have here the lovers. That would be Trump. And we have three of Wands, foreign. Someone waiting for their ship to come in. He desperately wants an end to this war. We have the Strength card at the foundation of the reading. We have the Six of Pentacles in the past. So, we know he cut off the supply, drip of supply to Ukraine. This is debt too. Perhaps it was advantageous in the past to feed the military-industrial complex with a war, which when you think about it, taxpayers' money fund Ukraine. Ukraine buys the weapons from American manufacturing, and that whole cycle continues. But that was in the past. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So finances, financial is key here. Money there is a plan to end this. I don't know, the deal to end it could largely be financial. I don't know. So here we have in the present we have the Eight of Pentacles. They're working on it. They're working on a deal. The Queen of Rods, of course, is literally the Ukrainian spirit. Look at that. They're working on trying to get Ukraine to agree to certain things. We have the Star card in the hopes and fears that this is a fair resolution. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. They're not there yet. They're working out. It's the finances that they're working out. But there's a good chance that it will end. And there we have the Three of Pentacles, the carve up, who gets what. We could see some kind of progress on a ceasefire, but there's just a lot of loss here. Yeah, they're trying now to get Ukraine to agree to something. It is around resources, what land is ceded. But these are by and large yes cards, and then we have the ending of someone or something. They're not there yet with ending the war, but they're making progress toward ending it, and it is in a negotiation phase. All right, I'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm off now until your Sunday, my Monday. I'm going to take a good break. Hope you do too. Bye for now.